Nå, er det ikke hyggeligt her? You know, like it's a storm outside right now, but I'm just sitting here at home with a cup of tea, enjoying my time. So hi there. Last summer I passed Prøve Dansk 3 or PD3, a language exam that lots of newcomers are going through in order to finish Danish education in Denmark and come a bit closer to understand the culture here and just Danish society in general. I got 7 in writing and reading and 12 in speaking section. I'm not an expert or Danish language teacher, but let me share with you some tips and tricks that can be useful on the exam itself. Just consider this video as a recommendation, like friendly recommendation. This is how I approached this exam. Like, this is my way, this is how I managed it. Nailed it. Oh, and remember that the exam format is transforming almost every single year, so some information can be outdated. Let's get started. First thing first, make sure that you really understand the test format. PD3 consists of 3 big parts, like reading section, writing, and speaking. Here you can see some timing, so you have 25 minutes for leseforståelse, it's like reading section, first part. The second part of reading section, you have 1 hour. There are also 2 writing tasks. They will take you 2.5 hours, and you need to pass those sections together. So it's gonna be at the same day, and speaking section will be a bit later, I guess in 2 weeks or maybe even a month. So you have 2 minutes to present your topic, also 3 minutes to answer the questions, 5 minutes to speak about some topic that is going to be random, but we will speak about it later. Just a quick reminder, there is no better way, in my opinion, to get ready for the Danish exam than to go to the language school. Because teachers, they explain everything and they work super hard to make everyone ready for the exam. This is so cool. Okay, so first thing that you're going to do is to get this leseforståelse it. Well, they will give you 2 documents. One is task itself with 15 questions, and another one is just like a text that you need to analyze and work with. And it will be like 14, 16 pages, something like that. How I have managed it, right? So first of all, I scanned the information. I didn't really read the whole this text. For me, at least, it was not possible to read 14 pages in just like 25 minutes and at the same time manage the questions, manage to find the answers. So I didn't want to be super stressed. So that's why I just scanned the information. I understand what kind of piece of information it contains. We have done many different tests throughout 3 months that we were preparing for the Danish exam. And I could say that typical topics are arbejde, like work, uddannelse, hverdagsliv, or medborgerskab. Speaking about the answers, I would say, like it's even written on this paper, that you need to keep it short. And yes, please keep it short. Don't try to mention everything in the world if you're not sure what kind of answer they want. If you can answer yes or no, do it. Answer yes or no, not more than that. If they ask you how many churches they were mentioned, you just need to write like the number. That's it. Just try to focus on quality, not quantity. So make sure that your answer is correct. Of course, try to answer on all of them, but at the same time, if you feel that you're lack of time, it's better to focus on quantity. If you can't find an answer for the question, just skip and come back later. I know we all get nervous and sometimes they just ask some details that you cannot easily find in the text, or maybe you are not sure about it. So just we focus on quality. So if you're not sure about the quality of your answer, just skip it for now, and after you just come back. It's not a big deal. Highlight the keywords in the question. It worked for me because I could just focus okay, I'm looking for churches in this text. And I just highlight it or stress it. So I just knew what piece of information I need to find, and it really helped me to just stay focused. But please keep your eye on the time, because as I said before, you have 15 questions and 25 minutes. It's even less than 2 minutes for the question. It's more than enough actually. Sometimes we can be lost because there are still 14 pages of text that you need to scan and work with. Leseforståelse 2. And here we have 2 parts, actually 3. In Prøve it, in the first part of reading, you need to read the text and then answer on questions with multiple choices. Only 3 questions you have there. So you just need to pick up the right answer. So Prøve it. Here I would just ask you to read and pay attention to details, because those texts, and not only texts, you know, like questions, they are super tricky. And sometimes I couldn't even understand why those answers are right, like correct. But yeah, just read it carefully, maybe like 2 times or 3 times. Then just look through the questions. This is my strategy, at least was. I was trying to find not the one that is correct, but 2 others that are 100% not correct. Because sometimes those questions are really tricky and they are just, you know, mentioning one detail and it just like turns all the meaning around. In Del Prøve 2, in section A, you will have a text and there will be some gaps that you need to fill in. So that's why you need to read the whole text, again, carefully. You know, take it slow, maybe a bit slower, and also read all the passages carefully. You can pay attention to 1-2 sentences before and after the gap, and then just have a look at options that you have. There could be also some words that are showing that, you know, we're talking about den, eller de, and maybe it will help you somehow on the exam itself. And Del Prøve 2, section B, here you need to read the whole text and try to guess the missing words without looking at the options. We were making a lot of tests before we go to the exam, so that's why I could just analyze a bit the text itself, and I could see that, okay, they're using over and over again adverbs it's called. This is like the most repetitive words that they're using, or maybe some words like vise or grund til, påvirke, or maybe something like that. You will get the whole sense of it as soon as you just try some demo versions of the PD3. And yeah, just really quick about those adverbium that we were talking about. This is some adverbs that I have found, so it's like samtidig, do, med andre ord, or maybe exempelvis, tilgjengelig. And there are so many opportunities. You can ask your teacher, maybe they can provide you some information how those words are classifying, because they have different classes and different meanings. You know, some are like linking words, another one is using to oppose to each other, or like to show the contrast, or maybe there are some words that are about some conclusion. As far as I remember, in this book, we were using actually this book in the language school. It's Prøve, Dansk 3. It's a really nice book, and we were doing also some tasks in the school, so it helped. But also, if it's possible to get some extra exercises from your teacher, especially about adverbs, if you're not really good with them, it's the way to go. Here again, a quick reminder that use a pause between sections to chill a bit. Yeah, you don't need to be stressed about writing section, because it doesn't make any sense. Just go to the toilet, get some water, chill. Then we're slowly moving to the writing section, and here I don't have really that much to tell you, just because here the main point is that you need to practice all the time and also do your homework in the language school. But speaking about the first part of the exam, it's gonna be, I guess, email, or maybe just a mail, letter. So you need just to read it carefully, read the task itself, and usually you need to thank for the email, then answer the questions that are highlighted or stressed, and then you need to propose to meet, and that's it. Just try to practice and don't think that, oh my god, I know how to write emails, it's easy. Still, you know, some practice, extra practice, it will be nice. And speaking about the second part of writing section, well, it's kind of funny because there are 2 options. Like, you can just describe a diagram, or maybe you can just answer on some bullet points, or just cover some bullet points. And you know what? While I was preparing for the exam, I was trying to convince my teacher that, oh my god, I'm just going to describe a diagram. I know how to do that. I know the structure of this whole task, so it's gonna be easy peasy. And I've never done this second option, you know, just to describe or speak about some bullet points. As soon as I come to exam and I got this writing task and I just checked it, and I was like, oh my god, I don't know what to mention there. I don't know how to describe this very difficult diagram. It was really difficult for me to describe it. I was like, am I going to fail right now? Because I've never done it before. But anyway, I decided to go with it, and I've got 7, so it's fine. It's gonna be fine also for you. But just like be sure that before you go to exam, you have tried both, like to describe a diagram and work also with bullet points. Again, more practice. Now it's time for speaking section, and before we start it, I just want to remind you something, that you need to stay calm as much as you can. It's just an exam. And nothing bad is going to happen to you, because teachers they're not trying to make you fail. They just want to know your level of Danish. In speaking, you need to prepare a presentation of the topic for 2 minutes. Then you will have questions from the teacher for 3 minutes, and then they will give you some random topic that you need to talk about. And I guess for the last years, you don't need to describe the pictures, but you just need to know the topic, and they will ask you questions right away. So there are 2 mandatory questions that they need to ask, and there are some maybe other questions from the teacher. On the speaking section, you will have 2 people who are watching you. It's gonna be a teacher that you're talking to, and also a censor. Like, it's a person who is sitting there and just writing down everything that you have mentioned, good and bad. So if you have actually some mistakes, I guess I had some, like I didn't use the right tense, like not past but present. I got it in the moment and I just said it right away. I just said like, oh, I meant like not see, but saw, like this. So, and it was good. They were laughing, so I guess it worked also. If you could just right away say that, oh, that was actually my mistake. As for the speaking part, as I said, there are 2 sections in it, and in Prøve it, don't make it too complicated. I mean, it's supposed to be not a very easy text, but at the same time, don't try to use some scary words that you cannot pronounce, Just use some sort of words that are up to B2 level, but at the same time, you're not a native speaker, right? So don't try to make it more difficult for yourself to learn it, because otherwise teacher can ask you about some details about this word, like what it means, or maybe like, what do you know about blah, blah, blah. And you will be super confused because you have just learned this word. So you've never used it before. So try to avoid those kind of stuff. Also try to make some good research and use books, internet and other resources. I was using primarily our book that we were studying throughout like Module 5. So it was good. I have taken the vast majority of information from the book. I also used some, like news from the internet. So it's like up-to-date information. And other resources, maybe I could just, ask Danes to check it, if it's a resource, if you can say so. So this is the next point, ask Danes to practice it with you. So you can ask them to check it, whether it's clear what you mean. And the next thing is that you're going to talk to them. Maybe it's kind of scary, but this is the best practice that you can get, because they can also ask you some questions and also provide you some advice how to improve your topic. Just remember that your teacher who is working with you and like in the language school that you have, they cannot help you. They cannot really check your topic because this is not how it's supposed to be. You need to do it by yourself. Of course, you can ask for help from your relatives or maybe friends. It's fine. But not teacher. The next point is that make some gaps in the text. Well, as an example, we can take remote work. You can mention like some pluses and minuses, and maybe they will ask you for your opinion. Like, how do you think, how it's better to have a remote job or no? Those kind of gaps. So don't make it like you just missed a piece of information, so it's not clear what you mean. No. So it's supposed to be like a smart gap. And also don't hesitate to ask questions if you really didn't understand the word or maybe like the whole question itself. Ask a teacher also in Danish, of course, to maybe repeat the question or maybe change some words that you didn't really get. And speaking about the second section of the exam, of speaking exam, you need to stay calm because maybe you'll have so much adrenaline, so you'll be like, oh my god. But the first part, I guess it's kind of easier just because you could prepare it. But the second part is kind of more important in some way because it's something that you like share the language or just speak the language right away, like just here and now. So then analyze the picture and the titles. This is the main thing, just it's going to be really quick, like, 10 seconds or something. Of course, it's kind of optional. If you're good with it, it's going to be a nice advantage, I believe. So try to use inversion and keep the conversation natural, in natural way, in natural path, how you actually speak. Don't afraid to disagree with a statement or something like that. Maybe a teacher will try to ask you, what do you think about this? Is it a good thing? And you can say yes and no. So that's why it's really up to you. But be ready to give some reasons, like why you think so. Decent reasons, actually. And try to speak for a long time, not just like say a few words and that's it. Is it a good thing that we have online education? And you'll be like, yes. Of course, teacher will like provoke you to speak more by questions, but just don't make some extra job with teachers. Just say like, okay, I believe that this is like good on one hand or bad on another hand or something like that. So it's actually your answer, so there is nothing wrong about it. And also use some linking words, but don't forget inversion, right? I wrote Elsa because I guess it's super natural. Also, it's like coming back to the previous point, like Elsa, maybe Yemen. If you really need some time to answer the question and just to think about the question, just don't stay silent. Say like, it's a really good question, you know? And use this time to think about the answer, how to construct it. Elsa. So finally, just stay calm and confident during the test. Just trust your preparation and remember that you have the skills to succeed. And just the last reminder is that you will manage it. I believe in you. And if you would like to know what is waiting for you on Studieproeven or Danish Education 3 Module 6, just click on this video.